And here we are, happy to have as co host and conversationalist tonight, Chai Star G. Welcome to the dive in.
What's up, Mr. C? What up there,
Man, we
peeps?
had a day today, didn't we, pal?
Oh my gosh, it was like too much entertainment day.
Yes, it was. All
Yep.
right, let's get into our diving in, but first let's dive into the comments right quick and then we'll start talking. Oh, look. Fanboy G is dropping a let's go. Fanboy G is saying Godzilla or Gojira. It depends, I guess, time and place. Where are you when you're saying it? How authentic are you being? Are you using the traditional stateside interpretation, or are
hmm
you being more authentic? Gee, which do you have an answer for Fanboy G's question?
I say either way,
I like this because only recently did I slowly connect the dots. As again, I'm not a Godzilla champion. I'm looking to build up what I know about Godzilla. But only recently did it click for me when I was at the Music Box Theater when they presented Destroy All Monsters just roughly a month ago. Only at that point did I connect the dots that Moth Ra, the RA at the end, and Gojira, the RA at the end, that that's the common suffix there. And our last comment before oh, it's you saying let's go. All right, well, here we are. We did some stuff today, and let's start. I'm not saying we're in a Quentin Tarantino kind of a way here, but maybe we're putting the cart before the horse. It's been a long time since we've done a hot dog eating show on this channel. But today will not be the day we do a hot dog eating show. But let me tell you, we did make it to Gene and Jude's. Did you have a tamale? Did you have a dog? Did you have a double dog? What was your menu selection from Gene and Jude today?
Today was the usual one wiener with the grape drink. How about you, Mr. C?
Make me one with everything except for the hot pepper. Exactamundo. And so, how did we get to Gene and Jude besides that we liked the place? Well, we realized we weren't far off it when we were at Godzilla Fest. So now let me get the program right in there. 70-year anniversary right here. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Black and white glory. 70 years. So I had gone once previously last year. So this was my second time around. Gee, was this how many times, including today, have you been to G Fest? Just doing one hot dog and one Godzilla Fest.
That's
That's
right.
how it works around here. All right. So, well, your impressions.
So I did a little research prior to going. I want to know like what's it all about? Is it just about Godzilla? Uh, others is there going to be special guests, panel, who are the vendors, so on and so forth. So noted that it was at the Hyatt Hotel. Um, I had low expectations because you figure if there's going to be a fest or a con and it's in a hotel, it's going to be pretty sized down compared to, say, WonderCon, C2E2, that sort of thing. But to my amazement, it really raised a bar as far as hosting a con or a fest in a hotel. Um, every room that was on the map was like laid out great, lots of people, um, just a lot of things to see that just isn't Godzilla. So it was pretty good actually. I enjoyed it.
Now, for people who know, for people who don't know, we skew towards in your camp being an Ultraman fan. So there may be a bit of a, I don't know if I want to say Ultraman bias, but let me say an Ultraman acknowledgement, an Ultraman. There it is. There it is. When we walk in the door, so not, I wouldn't say people hounded you. Oh, look cool, you got Ultraman. But I would say people definitely did take notice that you were representing Ultraman.
Because I figured, Ultraman faced a lot of the kaijus out there. So I was hoping that there'd be at least some merch or some nod to Ultraman. And there was plenty of Ultraman stuff there. It was really, really nice.
Yeah. All right. Let's check on comments and then we'll. Oh. Who do you think is in comments? None other than the mysterious Mandarin answering fanboy G. It's not just Godzilla or Gojira. It's Godzilla. That's right. That's Saturday morning action, Mandarin. We're so happy to have you along for our conversation. Hey, Mandarin, the more we hang with you, the better we are. I don't know. Maybe we could say the reverse is also true. But Mandarin, that would have been an extra highlight to our day had you been storming not the theater floor, but the showroom floor with us, going around looking at the different. You, that's right. That's and you are included in that cluster of Ultramen Mandarin. Good to have you around. Always, as we keep saying, always appreciate the Mandarin to pop in. All right, so let's break down some of the photos. So after the Gene and Jude, again, we're skewing towards Ultraman, but again, there's plenty of. Speaking of Godzilla, speaking of our good pals at the Galloping Ghost Arcade, Galloping Ghost makes their presence known at C2E2. Galloping Ghost makes their presence known at their main block-long facility, their compound, world's largest, as they build themselves, video game arcade place. But then they also get out on the road and show some stuff. So before we go into the pictures, let me do some low-tech inversion here. And I did not know this game existed. Gee, I don't think you knew this game existed either. But you got an animatronic. It's not a Chuck E. Cheese. You got a marching Godzilla in there. You got to shoot him into targets and send him back. Look at him. Send him back. Send him back. Send him back. Send him back. But he's still marching. He's still coming. He doesn't want to stop. He's like the real Godzilla. Send him back. Send him back. Send him back. But eventually Godzilla wears you down on his approach and on his attack. All right. I mentioned Mandarin's just being generous with his commentary. Okay. Gotta Mandarin, you're right there. We're all part of it together. Yeah, I'm saying that's what we did. We were going in a little Tarantino order today, out of sequence. We concluded the outing. We weren't the only ones because other people were wearing Godzilla T-shirts at Gene and Jude's, and they had out-of-state plates. Now, I'm not trying to give away people's comings and goings, but I didn't make up a banter. We didn't go chat them up, but like, how did they know to go to Gene and Jude's? It's closer to the Rosemont Convention facilities than we realize. Hey, Mandarin, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Wood, when destroyed. Hey, I don't have the wizardry to manufacture or falsify an actual animatronic game like that. So, got the Zilla shirt. No, man, I got it to memo since you asked, man. I'm just representing the
Keeping
Mr.
it real.
Dives In channel today. Now, earlier I was rocking the Monsters That Made Us shirt, but here we are. Okay, let's get to. We're so good to have Mandarin around. Let's get to some images so we can break down the business here. We're all on 9 minutes going, and we haven't shown that much of the convention floor. As I did say, right there in the Galloping Ghost area, you got your Ultraman. Gee, had you ever seen the likes of this before in all your days?
I've only seen pictures of this. I've never seen one in person.
So in the Wayne's World kind of a way, if we were dialing it back, that would have been such a fun quarter ride as a younger dude. All right. I think we're a little oversized, a little overaged to riding Ultraman now, but it has a real cool look to it. Speaking of Ultraman, oh my gosh, we will get to actual Godzilla stuff. Good people, true. Like I'm saying, we gotta give Ultraman his due also. So the convention floor was full of vendor after vendor, table after table, store after store, showing the different stuff with really decent art. gee, again, when we pass, like everywhere we turn, it's like, oh, this is cool, that's cool.
Hmm.
Um, tell me for this piece of art, for a bunch of the other things, what were your first time convention goer? What were your reactions to seeing this stuff?
I think being a first timer there, uh, since my expectations were kind of low, I was going into it with sort of like well, let's see how it goes. The first place that we went into was the merchandise floor. And oh my gosh, there was just so much to see, not only with the monsters and Godzilla and shirts, but also they had a whole gamut of retro toys that are related to the monster universe. And there was also like American creature stuff there. Um, so it was a little bit overwhelming as far as seeing stuff that I've seen when I was a little kid, and then seeing stuff I've never seen before, like merchandise from Japan that they had, in regards to not only Ultraman, but they had some Robotech stuff. They had um, some of the mainstream like anime and manga characters and stuff like that. But they also had like the Wolfman. They had Creature from the Black Lagoon stuff. It was a whole wide range of like creatures and monsters and robots and stuff for sale. It was pretty neat. So just seeing that in the beginning, sort of like, I wonder what else is in store at this fest.
And we'll get to that in a quick second. What a perfect setup. And we're going to take that mini detour to check in on comments, because I think Mandarin's probably dropping us some more gold. Definitely dope. Definitely dope. Needs some. Okay, we're coming to the big Mandarin, man. Peekaboo. Just okay. Is this every year? So yeah, every single year, right around this time of year. And again, Mandarin, we're happy to share the knowledge and try to offer up good stuff. We know you passed by C2E2, so this is another one that could possibly be on your list of activities, Mandarin. And again, it's not in the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, nor is it at the McCormick Place. It's in the more intimate, lower key, a little bit more different ambiance, different, how did you say, je ne sais quoi, you said earlier in the day, different je ne sais quoi, different mystique to it going on. So let's pick up with some of the other magnificent things. Okay, we were right there. As we were saying, there was some kind of contest, and again, I'm not sure exactly what was for people with the real deal review. Stay tuned to terrordaves.com blog, because Dave will no doubt be publishing his top-notch material on the event. But here we are today as maybe the opening act, or giving maybe a different perspective. We did not get to see Dave. He cleared out before we got there. So it was like a tag in, tag out kind of a coverage. But look at this right there. You got to, don't touch our stuff. Don't mess with the stuff. But you got the fact that people are individuals taking the time to build this stuff, to put together some diorama business. Very impressive in this room. Here's their different entries and their different papers about how they won or what led to them winning for their different categories. You got a Mothra face, you got a Manila there, you got here you go. It was just hit after hit. Really cool stuff to see. Just even this is like a comic book panel isolated. It's a very dynamic, in the action kind of a statue. G, what do you got to say on this one?
So that room was kind of interesting. It had a wide range of styles, techniques, and also there's stuff from beginners all the way up to professionals. So it was pretty interesting to see. It was more of like an all-inclusive kind of stage than just like professional looking modelers presenting their work. So
absolutely. Thank you for your insight, my friend. Again, a little bit back to the game room. There was a whole wall in the game room, and then besides this wall, there were conventional gamers with controllers on different systems and different formats playing around. I don't mean in a bad way, but they were having that excitement of video game play. Some of those cats were being a little bit loud with their excitement, but it was just neat to have a variety of things. Again, you got a main showroom floor, you got a more artistic model diorama, independent artists achieving kind of thing. So there were different things to see in the different spots. Now let's dive in a little bit more to the main showroom. Of course, any con is going to be a t-shirt friendly haven. So many of the vendors had many styles of t-shirts. Let's take a few pass throughs here. Look now. Look at that right square center there. You got that Mothra rug. I don't know how I walked out of that convention without picking up that Mothra rug. But all the t-shirts, as you can see, all the figures from the different lines. It's a lot of good stuff. Here's more characters I could learn more about, but I'm not an expert in. And what do we got over here? Oh, look, I put the same picture in again. Okay. These guys had a real nice variance on it. You get a more clear plastic, a more translucent looking Godzilla. They had a variety of colors going on, similar to what Super 7 does. I wish I could touch the screen and blow this one up, but again, there was some fun art looking around here. There's more of a close-up. It was just good stuff after good stuff. Now let's take a look. As you mentioned, oh look, now here's some Star Trek kind of characters. So I think this was by the that right there, Blackheart Enterprises. So if that's something people are interested in, do go ahead and check out Blackheart. As you mentioned, there's your Wolfman, there's your Bride of Frankenstein, there's your Mummy, there's even another Wolfman in the back. There's the Hammer Wolfman over there. You got your Christopher Lee over there unpainted. Now this, talk about a spectacle. Talk about top level cosplay. We don't know who this was, but I mean, the hours that had to go into this, the measuring, the detail, the functionality, just to be able to walk, that's kind of impressive right there. But now you got the glowing lights in the eyes. We over the years we've been involved in some cosplay. How would you rate this as far as technical achievement in the cosplay that we've seen through the years?
Top notch.
Top notch.
For sure. Yeah.
You got it. What's we got here next? So as we said, now if I had more people around, if we had more people viewing, Ray's Occult Books, that was ringing a bell. And I'm thinking Ghostbusters 2 after the squad had dissipated. I think that's what you had Aykroyd doing, was running the occult bookstore, Ray's Occult Books. So again, pretty cool. Now this Dojo Studios here. So in a total other room, you got your Dojo Studios, and I'm not super familiar with them, but what they have are talk about cosplay achievement there. They had like the whole floor was just like this, of character after character, and there's like the cityscape in the back, or the residence. So I mean, it's in the foreground there, it's like some train tracks going. So again, Dojo Studios, it was just, look, here's the main room, here's the more art room, and then it seemed more filming set up for Dojo Studios. Did you know about Dojo Studios before?
I've never heard of them ever.
So it's cool to step out to a con and learn some stuff. Now again, I amongst all the variety of things, and I ran out of space as far as loading the pictures, but just even the most basic stuff of just the pennant here. Let me isolate on that just a little bit. The pennant nails it right there. You cannot get a better pennant than that. And they have the statue right there. Some of those pieces went for like $800. So there, again, a variety in styles, a variety in price ranges. It was just it was good show after good show. Here we go. Is a little bit of Godzilla mask. Oh, this one. So they had the glow in the dark and the other Godzilla with the firing fist, just like Shogun Warrior style Godzilla figure, which Fanboy G still has somewhere in the Fanboy Museum. He's still got the Godzilla. I should know the answer to this, but I don't. Back in our youth, was the Shogun Godzilla one of the pieces that you had?
Yes, I had pretty much all of them. I believe I still have 2 or 3 of them, but of course, back then, who knew that you should keep it mint in box and not play with it and keep all the parts. Godzilla's missing his hand, and there's other parts to other robots. I have no idea where they are, so they're pretty much worth nothing, but they're somewhere.
Yeah. All right, here comes a comment, and then let's have you show Need to Go next year if this is yearly. Yeah, Mandarin, my friend, it is. And again, that'd be real cool to maybe possibly cross paths with you if that were to come to pass. Now, G, I'm going to trade spots with us here because you had some stuff you didn't pick up today, but you did pick up previously. And I know I said we're definitely giving Godzilla his due respect, the king
Mm-hmm.
of the monsters, to be sure, and simultaneously honoring our Ultraman flavoring. So can we see, would you be kind enough to show us, besides your Ultraman t-shirt, your other Ultraman bits?
So this was one that you gave me. You actually gave me two of them. If I want to unbox one of them and just keep one mint. Ultra 7 with the Mego figure.
And the first time I saw that figure in the box was the first time I saw that figure at all. Like, I didn't know about Ultraman. I was used to the conventional look like on your t-shirt. So that was neat to see a variety of appearances that Ultraman can manifest.
And this was one that I picked up with Fanboy G back in the days at comic book convention, and it has like full articulation. This one I'm keeping mint in box because I think it's worth something from what Fanboy G told me, and it's all in Nihongo, Japanese, so who knows? I don't know. So yeah.
Excellent. All right, let me bring me back in here. Let me switch spots again. And so far today, we've said about a lot of stuff, but we haven't. Let me bring that up just to look at it. Right in the corner there, you got your King Kong, and King Kong was definitely well represented. Universal monsters with those bubble soakers. Let me try to blow this up here. You got a little Dracula going combination with a armor style mask. So there was just a whole bunch of good stuff. I also want to give a little look at the program, and I think we'll be good to go. So here we go. Just to leaf through the program a little bit. Again, back in the day when everything wasn't QR codes and scan this and scan that, so they're kind of traditional in that way. So here are the special guests. Nice group of creators and people currently doing comics and movie talk and all that. There was the layout of the con floor and the other adjacent meeting rooms, and there's the schedule of all the different panels. Again, I wish it broke out that we would have done a little bit of panel hanging out, a little history there. Like, that just looks like everybody's having fun. Each from whenever those pictures are, somebody's having a good time at their memories of G-Fest in the past. So let me bring us both back up. G, any other thoughts on Godzilla Fest, or were there any items that did get picked up today that were able to show at this time, or those are maybe for a future conversation, maybe for a future dive in?
I bought nothing.
I know you bought nothing, but you and me weren't the only people there. And
So my son went to just get out of a trumpet lesson. And he bought like some kind of kaiju where it holds your phone. It's called like a butler or something. It holds your phone, so if you want to watch YouTube on your phone, the kaiju is like holding it. And he also bought a crab Bluetooth speaker. So out of the belly of the crab comes the sound from your phone, which sounds pretty good actually. So yeah, that was. I'm like, what are you buying? he wouldn't show me until we got home. So
because whereas the internet is a wonderful place where you can search and find many things, but sometimes you gotta be out there on the convention floor to find some creative expressions like that.
They had a lot of weird stuff in a good way, and like a niche way.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Did you purchase anything or see anything that you would purchased, or
Well, again, right? If money were no object, if space were not a consideration, right? I mean, there's so many there's so much room on the wall for the Doug Horn and the other art, and I'm coming to hold up another art piece in a second. But so no, I did not. I look. Oh man, look at that. Oh, Mandarin, you're right. You're right there, energizing us, pal. It's a beautiful thing, and weird is good, right? Because it's an expression. It's a niche. Like we said, it's
hmm
got its own mystique and its own personality.
hmm
It's got a creativity. So back in the day, in 1954, when they're putting the first Godzilla movie together, right? They had to make stylistic choices. How do they? They're trying to make a serious point about war, about nuclear energy, about mythology, about so they had to make some stylistic
hold on. I
choices.
think that, sorry to bother me, interrupt you. There is a book that you gave me. Let me try to find it. Hold on.
All right, while you do that, good thing. Good thing I had some business at the ready. Not found at Godzilla Fest today, but if you go to your Etsy or if you go to your NicoleHoff.com, Barbie and Godzilla, it can't be beat. Again, we did review this piece, and I remember I was doing what do you think would be the interpretation? What is the interaction here between Barbie and Godzilla? And I know I've got the protective wrapper on it right now. So the way I was breaking it down was it's kind of open to interpretation as art can be. Is Barbie joining Godzilla in destroying Tokyo, or is she putting the brakes on him? I think for me, either interpretation is equally as fair as the other. Uh, let me see this. We'll get up in comments here while we're waiting. Oh, look, Chai Star is back. Let me bring him back on the screen. But first, you make me want my own man. You are the dopest of the dope. Fanboy has joined us back again. Always enhanced and enriched by the presence of Fanboy G. Bringing back Chai Star on the screen. Barbie, hey, I'm telling Mandarin, NicoleHoff.com or Etsy. You cannot go wrong. Look. There's the business card right in the back. Friend of the show, guest, past guest and future guest Nicole Hoff with that creed. Oh, there it is. Barbie and Ultraman. That, I mean, it's not for us to tell Nicole which direction to go, but it is fair game to think, oh, that would be a really good visual to go. All right.
hmm
Beauty and the Beast, bro. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the whole reason we're here to eat hot dogs and sometimes turn on a camera when we're eating a hot dog and sometimes not. We're here to try to have some lively conversation with the Fanboy, with the Mandarin, with the Jim
hmm
Campbell. All right, so let me switch it back again, and let me bring you up. And oh,
Did you get me this book?
uh,
I think you got me this
I
book.
would like to think so.
Or I don't know.
In all honesty, I cannot remember, but
Yeah.
I will take if you want to pass the credit for that book my way, I will
Sure.
take the credit for that, man. So is that can you do a little flip through and maybe just
So
pop on
I
land on
just
something
found
there?
some pages here.
Oh man.
You can see
There.
with Godzilla and let's see.
Ghidorah, King,
Yeah.
and the other. Okay.
It's
So
kind of funny that you can see the dude with the cigarette just hanging out as he's talking to Godzilla.
talk about style. So look the hat. Look at
Yeah.
the hat and the jacket as he's directing Godzilla. And now, oh, there it is.
There's Ultraman fighting Godzilla right there.
Man, it
So
does
I
not
mean,
get
it's
better than this.
it's just so cool to see like all the behind the scenes of like
Oh, but look at the facial expression. They're not
I
there
know,
just like
right?
yucking it up. They're not going. They're not going the route of a Batman with a Schumacher. There, that's a serious countenance upon that man's face. They're not
Yeah,
playing around.
yeah. So I mean, it's pretty interesting to see like how they make it, and also like the toys that come out of all these kaiju.
Man, here, let me isolate on you again. Get me out of the way. We got to man. This is some good stuff.
Like old school vintage toys, from Ultraman, and pretty much everything that he kind of designed um, is in this book. I mean, it's just so pretty. And there's like uh, it's just funny. It's like
It's so
who
much
are these
fun.
people? But you
Yeah,
know,
it's so much fun.
yeah. So
And gee, can you give us like a horizontal so we can see the binder? Mandarin's asking, where do we get the book? I, honest to God, again, I'd love to take credit for it, but I don't really know. So can we see the proper right there? Oh, Master of the Monsters. Oh, man. All right, take a little note there, Mandarin, and hit that Google's, hit that Amazon, hit that Barnes and Noble, and see where you could land that. That is a magnificent piece
and
of.
I love the back cover. He's holding a cig. You know,
Okay, now next, I want you guys to go do this. Do you
yeah,
understand? Make
yeah.
it look good. Make it look good.
Gojira, Gojira. Yeah. He was
All
like
right,
Gojira.
before we close out, I did want to just have a couple other mentions of a couple other things here. So we're in that prime time of summer where we were just past the 4th of July and the next major date on the calendar that comes after 4th of July, 7/11. Now, Fanboy G has let us know in the text conversation somehow the certain regions within the Pacific coast are not hip with 7-Eleven on 7-Eleven with a free Slurpee. So
Right.
I feel for the people in those communities who do not have access to free Slurpees on Free Slurpee Day. Gee, did it kind of slip by you this time around? The free Slurpee
I
Day?
I think the older I get, the more I just forget certain things. You know, like the brain can only hold so much. So I think Slurpee Day was like edged out of my head for things to remember. So I was in Japan for 2 weeks, and the convenience stores in the 7-Eleven are just amazing. Lots of healthy food, stuff like that. No Slurpees. There are no like slushies in Japan. No rotating hot dogs in Japan. It's all like good food. And I've heard recently in the news that the conglomerate that owns those stores are now going to try and convert the American stores to the Japanese model of selling like yeah, it's legit like Wall Street Journal stuff. I don't read Wall Street, but I saw it in a reel on Instagram because I have a short attention span. That the conglomerate that owns those stores bought out the American stores, and they want to um, model them and hopefully have good food in 7-Eleven in the states. So
Well, let me tell you, there is a time when I'm at 7-Eleven and I'll go for the banana that's on the counter or the fruit snack thing.
hmm
But man, but as I needs my Slurpee, I want my MTV. So, but
hmm
that's I don't want to say I'm ringing an alarm bell, but it will be interesting to see what manifests in the near future from that
hmm
which you have just learned.
yeah,
Uh,
because from what I hear, like the money making is built upon convenience and food. And since 7-Elevens were based upon like selling of gas and cigarettes, and those two are sort of taking a tank, the next thing is food. So that's what they're trying to bank on, going with the Japanese model of convenience stores.
I love.
Onigiri. It's
Yeah.
a rice ball, which sometimes it has something inside. So yeah. I heard that some 7-Elevens are selling ramen, like the instant ramen stuff, but I don't know.
All right, and then our other corner, Mandarin. Did you get a free Slurpee on Free Slurpee Day? A better sticky rice. Oh, dude, Mandarin. At the same time, I know full well your thing is Man of Mystery. But if we ever have it to be in the future where you are actually on here on the show with us, I mean, comments are awesome. I'll take it, but it would be a magnificent thing to meet the
Okay.
Mandarin.
So here's the interesting thing about that comment. sticky rice. Uh, it's that's more like an Asian thing because American rice ain't sticky. It's like the Asian rice has that clumpiness going. So maybe Mandarin is throwing out a mystery that maybe there's some kind of Asian influence in his life. I don't know.
Could
I'm just
be
throwing it in there. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, I don't know.
Mandarin Man of Mystery. Uh, our other partner, Junkyard, had unfortunately reported to us in the group text that come his arrival time, I think it was just 7 p.m., which you
Mhm.
think would be prime time on 7-Eleven day, but it got the old, like when you go to McDonald's and the ice cream machine's out of order, it'd be like, psh, Junkyard was denied his free Slurpee in mid-attempt. So I was a little bit crestfallen. I was crestfallen for the fact that Junkyard could not get to his Slurpee.
It's un-American.
I'm
I
telling
tell
you,
you, that's un-American.
for real in all caps.
Yeah.
Other closing points to highlight as we go. I want to credit our other associate, Chris Hamby of the Silver Screen Reflections blog, because it was on the date of 7-Eleven that Chris Hamby met and crossed the threshold to 100,000 viewers. If my memory serves right, it was 2015 when young Mr. Hamby started his weekly blog on Svengoolie. And so from that time to now, hitting 100,000 viewers. Congrats. And man, see now sticky rice rules. Oh, but what about the mango part? Man, I know because I've been around a little bit too, right? And I know you get that mango working with the mango and the sticky rice together. I know that's a thing.
That's a
So
whole another Asian thing, man.
I'm
That's cool
saying,
though.
I'm
That's
saying we're
cool. That's
paying,
cool. Yeah.
if if Godzilla and Kong and Ultraman and Spectre Man are all gonna in a
Mm-hmm.
convergence way come together, then the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. We're gonna look at the different variations of the rice as well.
Yeah, it's like your station is turning into like Oriental Avenue. I know that's not PC, but I think it's funny. I'm just saying. We're
Coming,
all living. We're all,
coming back to recognizing Chris Hamby. Congratulations to you, Chris, on 100,000 viewers and a little bit closer to home in effect of longevity across the many years. The Fanboy Cantina channel continues to grow. We are now approaching 2,000 towards the FBC, but today was the 1.7K mark on Fanboy Cantina. So again, please do check out all the different features of the Fanboy Cantina channel, where sometimes you might see the two of us. You might see a virtual field trip of a really cool toy shop. You might see a heck of a lot of different things. There it is. Glad. And again, now who's jumping in towards the end of the business? As long as we're giving the recognitions.
hey,
So
hey, Casual Crafter. So I was on your live stream when you were doing the model painting. I found that freaking really cool. Just to see your tips and tricks, especially with the eyes. How you painted them black first and then went in with the white. Very cool. Very cool.
Fanboy Cantina channel just posted a Godzilla video. Mandarin, we appreciate. That's the thing. You can put a Mandarin and a casual crafter together. But crafter, let me say, crafter, you're no slouch yourself, sir, because you were growing, approaching your first 1,000 subs, and that's a magnificent thing. And I want to say we were back in the four body text thread. The Colin Clive hair swoop as Dr. Frankenstein. So you got the three, and then you're trying to paint the underside of the hair, but keep the forehead with the flesh tone paint. So Crafter and J Spy and Scotty were on a mad mission. I know it's hard to actually paint something and get in comments, but we were all like, go Crafter, go. We were all like clowning around with you and J Spy and Scotty on that. And
So next week, Mr. C dives in with the live stream. He's going to be coloring in the paint by number. Let's see what his technique is. Hopefully, we get more likes and subscribes. I'm just saying.
I think more possible than that. I'm not saying it's not possible. More possible than that. I would print out the lyrics and I would break down the classic rock, what's now classic rock, which was at the time was right at the cutting edge. So I'm going to go with the Police, and I'm going to be maybe I'll do a little Murder by numbers. 1, 2, 3. It's as easy as your ABC. All right.
But what's going to be hard is you only have two colors.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted. Let's go.
Challenge accepted. So, in recap, a lot of fun stuff going around in the summertime. We got Casual Crafter on his channel. We got Fanboy Cantina. We got Chris Hamby hitting the 100,000 mark. To catch a proper review of G Fest, please look forward to the blog format, terrordaves.com. Again, wish we would have got there a little earlier today to give a handshake to Dave. Coming up, as Fanboy G has just said, where to go. Dive into karaoke. Take that, where do we go? Just posted a Godzilla video on Fanboy Cantina. Coming up here, I know we're doing some different nights than usual. We just did the Svengoolie train, and I encourage Crafter. That's one for you to check out, the Svengoolie train. I'm telling you. And coming up this Friday, the monsters that made us, the Invisible Dan and Monster Mike, will be back around over here for some more fun conversation. Everybody's invited to jump in to the comments and jump into view for the dive in for the monsters that made us. Gee, let me tell you, sincere and clowning all at the same time. I'm glad we got to hang out today. I'm glad we got to eat.
We're a band of brothers right here.
Band of brothers. Who will take off the wristband first? Stay tuned to find out who still has the wristband on and who doesn't. Mandarin, that's what I'm saying right here. It's a Sunday night, right? Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to sneak in another live stream before then, but absolutely this coming Friday, the 19th, Monsters That Made Us, the Invisible Dan, and Monster Mike right over here. Oh, ha, 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 ha. And let me tell you, just as a brief plug for that, and then I'll wrap us up. Gee, I'm glad we got to hang out today. I'm glad back in the day when Nicolas Cage made his Saturday Night Live appearance and they were doing Tiny Elvis. I was so glad to see on the Cage Club Network to listen to Mike, not just cover the Nick Cage movies, but to cover Nick Cage on Saturday Night Live, because how many times did we say, look at that salt shaker? That thing is huge. So it's just good to have good pals that go on for a long time, or our newer pals like Crafter and Mandarin to yuck it up a little bit and have some fun in the summertime. All right. Closing thoughts, G?
I would definitely do G Fest again.
Good to know.
The gamut is huge as far as the spectrum of what you can see, what you can learn. I want to join in on some of the panels next year, hopefully, just to listen to what the professionals say behind the scenes and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, great experience. I'd definitely do it again.
Because we were in the House of Monsters and it was a good place to be. Future coming up, and I know I'm wrapping us up. Mandarin, if you're not opposed to making a little bit of travel over to the county line to Kane County on July 28th, the Kane County Fairgrounds turn into the Toy Fair. So whereas I said it this way, you got typically a room for chickens, and there's a barn for pigs, and there's where cattle are. But instead of all that farm livestock animals, you got toys and toys and toys and toys. So that is definitely on our future horizons, July 28th at the Kane County Fairgrounds for the Toy Fair. I don't know if we will live stream from there, but we got good stuff coming around. All right, this has been Chai-Star G and Mr. C breaking down for you, hopefully being a little bit entertaining as our review and coverage of G-Fest. Thanks, everybody. We're out of here. See you in the... Oh, Mandarin will give it some thought. That's all we ask, sir. And I'm hitting end stream, and we are diving back out, and we'll see you real soon.